Today, I'm going to be taking you on a little day trip with me to the library, but not just the library, also to the library's art gallery. Now, if you're not interested in the art gallery, you can always skip that, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to show the exhibit, then I'm going to get into the books I checked out, and then lastly, I am going to give you 5 books that you can get off Amazon for what? Free 99. Yep, free 99. So, my name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. So, let's get into this exhibit. It's pretty short, but like I said, if you want to skip, it's fine. Here we go. Cool thing about our library is that we have an art exhibit. So it looks like maybe it's a hip hop display at this point. So I'm gonna just show you guys a little bit of what it looks like. There's Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. And then there's Biggie and Scarface. Oh, DMX, one of my favorites. Then we've got Nicki Minaj and Busta Rhymes. And everybody knows Tupac. Um, I don't know who these people are. Marlo Lopretti and Gianni Bismarck. I don't know who they are. And you got Pusher T. And what is this? I wonder if Mario Lopretti is he the? Yeah, Mario Lopretti is the artist. So I don't know. Maybe this is dance or something.
It's breakdancing.
Yeah, breakdancing. And it looks like maybe it's the freeway or something, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so Mario Lopretti is another one of Tupac. Then you got Missy Elliott and 50 Cent, 25 Cent. Another one of Biggie. Baby Gang and Capo Plaza. I don't know who those people are. And you've got Eminem and Eminem. Oh, these are nice. They got the old gas pumps from back in the day. I don't really know what that has to do with hip hop or how it ties into the exhibit. Um, and then they've got some, I don't know if that's a McDonald's t shirt or supposed to be a bag, Coca Cola, and a hat. And then you got Pepsi over here. I'm not sure how this ties in either, but it is a part of the exhibit, which is pretty cool. So I've been in here several times. It is different. I don't know how often, but the last time they did like a circus themed and seemed like a doll, baby doll type of thing. But yep, this is our local library's art exhibit. So that was the art exhibit. It was pretty short. I wish I had gotten like closer pictures. They were done really well. That was oil painting, which I forgot to tell you. And also, there was like this little black dot in the middle of most of the pictures. I don't know what that was. It didn't say on the little cards. The cards just basically told you who it was if you didn't know. But I did notice that little black dot in it. I liked the gas pumps. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get into these books that I checked out from the library. So we're going to start with the filling station. And anybody who's been watching me for a little minute will know that I've already borrowed this book from the library and I've already read it. But reading it for a second time, I picked up on things that I did not get into the first time. And I think that I enjoyed it even more the second time. But this book is about the Tulsa race riot of 1921. It is really based on these two young ladies who was a part of that, who actually lost their home and their family, and they basically had to rebuild again, and they were both severely traumatized by it. The younger sister, whose name was Evelyn or Evie, she was very traumatized by it. It was the day of her graduation, and it just sent her life into a whole entire tailspin. She was no longer the person she was prior to it. And then her older sister, who was Margaret, Margaret was traumatized too, but she was traumatized in a way that made her focus on rebuilding. It made her focus on um, getting restitution for what happened to the people there. They were really, really proud of where they lived, and it was super important to her to rebuild what they had taken away from her father. So this was a great book. I enjoyed it the first time, and I definitely enjoyed it even more the second time. And then we have The Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. This is really popular right now. Originally, I had absolutely no intention on reading this book. I have tried reading Danielle Allen. I've read three of her books, and not that they were not good, it's just that the way I've heard people talk about Danielle Allen, I kind of was a bit disappointed at the three books that I read. Maybe I read the wrong books, but I was watching a YouTuber and she made this book sound really, really good. Like, of all the people I've heard talk about it, I mean, she really made this book sound good. So I am going to check this out. Um, I don't really remember what the book is about, except for that I think that the lady, the main female character in the book, she is dating, but she's dating multiple people, and each person that she is dating, she's dating for a reason. Each one of them has a specific quality that, I don't know, maybe she can't get in another person, or she just likes that one quality. And then she meets a guy who has all of the qualities. And so after watching that YouTube video, I hate that I can't remember who it was. I am pretty excited, and I think that I'm probably going to get what I've been looking for from Miss Danielle Allen in this book. And then I got Family and Other Calamities. I have been eyeing this book, and I'm going to go ahead and just read the synopsis really quickly. It says entertainment journalist Don Roberts has a lot to work through. Widow's grief, betrayals of family and friends, and scandals that almost tanked her reputation. Not that Dawn dwells on the past, well, hardly. When she returns to Baltimore with her husband's ashes, she can't avoid it. In fact, she's diving into decades of backstabbing and treachery for her first trip home in years. She's looking at you, Joe Perkins, her former mentor, whose explosive expose about big city corruption is being turned into a standalone movie. It also, a standalone movie is also back in town. The villain of the piece, Dawn. The good news is that this could all be a chance to reset, heal family wounds, admit her own mistakes, and maybe even reconnect with the one who got away. Oh, and get even with Joe any way she can. There's the mess. I can't wait. With surprising help from an up-and-coming journalist and a legendary R&B diva, Dom will finally set the record straight. Returning home might just be this little thing is here, so it's covering. what it says. It might just be the big, I don't know, something in Dawn's life, a fresh start and a happy, I don't know, because it's covering it. And then it says, well, I guess the happy, maybe happy ending she never expected. But I'm looking forward to this. I have been eyeing this book. And then lastly, I got The Settled. Now, I've been also eyeing this book. Both of these books I've been looking at, and I've read it. Um, Family and Other Calamities. I seen this when I was looking for new books, but I didn't pick it up. I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't time. I'm not sure. But this one I've been looking at, and I'm ready to get back into historical fiction. I think I've burned out on urban fiction. I've been reading it for almost 3 months now, without just maybe a few little books here and there that were not urban fiction. And so right now I am into a mystery thriller, which is historical fiction. So I cannot wait to get back, and this is going to be one of them. It is by Anya Mathis, who is the person who who wrote, what's it called? Hattie Do Something. Oh, The 12 Tribes of Hattie. And I read part of the 12 Tribes of Hattie. I'm about maybe 30% in, but I think I started that like last year. I never picked it up. So I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis for this one. It says, from the moment Ava Carson and her 10-year-old son Toussaint arrived in the Glen Avenue family shelter in Philadelphia, Ava is already plotting a way out. She is repulsed by the shelter's squalid conditions, the filthy bathrooms, the barely edible food, and the shifty night security guard. She's determined to rescue her son from the perils and indignities of that place, and to save herself from the complicated past that led her there. Ava has been estranged from her mother, Duchess, since leaving her Alabama home as a young woman. Despite the thousands of miles between them, mother and daughter are deeply entwined. But Ava can't forgive her sharp tongued, larger than life mother, whose intractably, okay, intractably intractability, sorry, um, and bouts of despair brought young Ava to the outer reaches of neglect and hunger. Ava wants to love her son differently, better. But when Toussaint's father, Cass, reappears, she is swept off course by his charisma. The intoxicating power of his radical vision and radical justice and utopic communal living will lead her to transcendence in tragedy. In Alabama, Duchess struggles to keep Bonaparte, once a beacon of black freedom and self determination, in the hands of its last five black residents. Family whose lives have been rooted in this stretch of land for generations, and always from rapidly encroaching white developers. She fights against the erasure of Bonaparte's vulnerable history and the loss of the land itself, which she has so arduously preserved as Ava's inheritance. As Ava becomes more enmeshed with Cass, Toussaint senses the danger simmering all around him. His well intentioned but erratic mother, the intense, volatile figure of his father, who drives his fledgling Philadelphia community towards instability and violence. He begins to dream of Duchess and Bonaparte, his home and birthright, if only he can find his way there. So, this is hopefully my next read, but I am super excited. I love the mess, so I am waiting for that. So those are the four books I got from the library. The filling station I am going to be taking back because I've had it for a minute, but these other ones, the other three, I just recently got from the library. I want to say like 2 days ago, something like that. So I'm ready to get into it. So now for the free books. So for the free books, I normally come across free books, and sometimes I go ahead and download them. Sometimes I'm really just not interested. But then, because I was doing this video, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool, for somebody else who might like them, because they are romance books, and they're literally free. They're not Kindle Unlimited books, but they're free. And also, they are a part of a series. So the first book in the series is free. If you choose to get the other books, you will have to pay for them. But sometimes they are good enough that I want to know what's happening next. So the first one is called Love Under Contract. It is the Jenkins and Son Construction Series, Book One. It is by Sharon C. Cooper. And I don't kind of don't know because these are so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read the synopsis. I was thinking maybe not, but like, what would make you want to read it if you don't know what it's about, right? Okay, so it says Samira Robinson refuses to settle for less than she desires, even if what she craves is the sexy, smart, and charming Nicholas Jenkins Moore. At her age, she wants marriage and a family, not the empty promises Nick offers. Yet, there is just something about the man that makes moving on nearly impossible. As a senior manager of the Jenkins and Sons construction, Nick's 5-year plan is on track with marriage and starting a family at the bottom of the list. Samara is as beautiful inside as she is outside, but not even can she entice him to abandon his carefully plotted road to success. This is until she walks away without looking back, leaving him yearning for her presence in his life. Nick is determined to convince Samara that he wants the same thing she wants. But will an unexpected development keep them from the life they desire, or will fate bring them closer than they've ever been before? Um, it sounds good to me. But I wonder if it is a forbidden love. For some reason, I'm thinking that she's going to get with somebody else in that construction company. Now, I didn't read that. I read the same thing I just wrote to you guys, but for some reason, I want to think that, or maybe I'm just hoping that. Okay, book number two. It is called His Paradise Wife. It is book one of a series of nine. This one is free. And it says handsome, self made millionaire bachelor Dante Champion is on a mission to make Emily Mitchell his wife by any means necessary, even if he has to lure her to Pleasure Island, hoping she'll fall in love with him. Too bad Emily's heart is not available for love. 2 years after her husband Melvin passed, Emily is still grieving his death. She buried herself in her work, is making her high end boutique a success. She has no interest in dating again, and she's definitely not about to be swept off her feet by one of those champion brothers. Okay, sounds like he's got a reputation, or his brother's got some anyway. Okay, so number three is called Want Need Love. It is by Niobia Bryant, and it is book number one in the Bellinger Sisters series. And this one says, Finding Mr. Right isn't easy, but in this sexy new novel from, I'm going to skip that part. As a matchmaker, Mona Bellinger has a talent for bringing the right people together and keeping the wrong people apart. At times, she uses a gift of premonition inherited from generations of the Bellinger women to see if the soulmate of anyone she, wait a minute, the Bellinger women to see the soul of anyone she touches. When Anson Tyler, fiance, ends their engagement thanks to Mona's advice, he angrily confronts her. Unfortunately, Mona has not only caused him a broken heart, she ends up giving him a broken leg as well. Guilt ridden over Anson's injury, Mona decides to help him recover, whether he likes it or not. Their angst shifts to comfort and turns to chemistry. Both fight their attraction until Anson, handsome brother Hunter, shows up and pursues the beautiful matchmaker. Anson has made many sacrifices for the young brother he raised, but losing Mona to him is not one of them. As Mona and Anson give in to their passion, they must overcome his disbelief in her gift and his reluctance to accept the idea of the one in order to claim their destiny. So, I got this one last week and it is still free. Um, I remember Niobe buying from back in the day. I think I've only read one of her books, but it was really good. I don't remember what it was. And number four is called She's Got Soul. It is by Aja. This is one of four. And I read this last month. Um, it was okay. It was okay. But it is a part of the Soulmates books, and it says podcast host. Oh, I do remember this. Podcast host Zola is smart, sexy, and opinionated. When wealthy app developer Khalil calls into the show to correct her, she won't let him off the hook without a fight. The more they talk, the bigger the spark. Could it be love? So, yeah, I remember this one. I read it. It's they have this. She's a radio, well, I guess I've already read it, but she's a radio DJ. He calls in and he disagrees. They have a back and forth, and then he calls in again like the next day to talk to her again. They wind up going out because you could tell the chemistry from when they were on the phone, even from the first call. They have chemistry. I do remember it. I did think it was good. It was fairly short. Let's see, how many pages is it? 202 pages, fairly short. But it was a good read. I just couldn't remember off the top. It was good, but not good enough for me to buy book number two. Book number five is called Fool for You. It is the Crush on You book series. It is how many books? Three books. And this one says sports journalist Madeline excuse me, sports journalist Madeline Foster has achieved most of her goals. Dream job check. Tomboy to slay all day makeover check. Convince her best friend Damian Richards to slide a ring on her finger and father her 2.5 kids, not so much. When she activates Operation I'm Gonna Make You Love Me, she never imagines her BFF already has plans to scroll down the wedding aisle with another woman. Damien, in the middle of Crisis Mode, the nonprofit for young athletes at which he volunteers, is in financial trouble. He'll pull out all the stops to rescue the organization that saved his life after his career ending injury, even if it means sacrificing his personal happiness. But when he finally wakes up to the love and the very non brotherly feeling he's long held for Mel, it just might be too late. Damien must convince her that he's worth the risk and turn the tables to show her that he's the one to be a fool for love. This one sounds really cute. Like I said, they're all romance. They're all free. They are, let's see, this one, yeah. They're all a part of a series. And yeah, so if you're interested in these free books, you can just go to Amazon and download them the way you would do your Kindle Unlimited. Like I said before, the other books in the series are not free. So I may do this like maybe once a week if I come across some other books that are free. Like I said, I am like always, this is my thing being on Amazon, and I run across these free books, and so why not share them? So I showed the exhibit. I showed you the books I got from the library. I gave 5 free books. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and drop down in the comments. Let me know. Did you watch the exhibit? Did you like the exhibit? And was I too far away? Because at the time when I was going ahead, when I was doing it, I could see it very well, but of course I wasn't looking at it through my camera. So I did not know. And then once I changed the size for the video, it did get a little bit smaller, which I was a bit disappointed about, but it is what it is. But yeah, just go ahead and do all the YouTube things like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, see you soon.